Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's College Planning Tip of the Week. My name is Jack Wang, and with me, as always, is Nancy Steenson of Steenson College Coaching. Nancy, I often get asked, what is the most important aspect of a student's college application?
I love this question because a lot of people think the most important part of a college application is the student's GPA or the student's rank or maybe their test score. But in fact, the most important part of a college application is the high school transcript, the rigor of the transcript, the classes that the student took. It's really important to know going into high school what the goal is. Is the goal to graduate from high school? Is the goal to go to college? Is the goal to go to a highly selective college? Because once you answer that question, you'll have a much better idea of the kinds of choices that you want to make in putting together your classes over the next 4 years. I see a trend of kids taking classes because they're fun, or kids no longer taking science or Spanish because they don't like it. And I understand all of that. But it's really important to know that colleges are looking for very strong, well rounded fundamentals. And I'm not just talking about the most elite schools in this country. We have state flagship schools with really, really rigorous expectations. And it's right there on their website. A lot of students come to me and they've stopped taking French or Spanish after 2 years, and they find out that the college they want to apply to expects 3 years, and it's not uncommon. So it's important to know this. When I talk about strong, well-rounded fundamentals, I'm talking about 4 years of the five core academic subjects: English, math, science, social studies, and foreign language. That's really the bar that we want to aim for. Now, is it okay if a student interested in STEM backs off on foreign language in that 4th year? Of course it is. Is it okay if a student going into the humanities says, I've had enough of science and I can't take another year of it, or I can't take another year of math because I don't know what I would do if I had to take calculus? Yes, that's all fine. But I urge students and parents to go in with their eyes wide open, because I see too many students cutting themselves short in terms of the rigor of their transcript. For instance, if a student wants to go into science, or even if they don't, it's important to take biology, chemistry, and physics before science electives like astronomy or marine biology. Even students who want to pursue engineering in college, it's important to take physics before or at the same time, but don't take intro to engineering instead of physics. You will learn engineering in college, and it's great to have exposure to it for sure, but it's more important to have the physics. For students who tell me they want to go into business and they want to study business in college, very important to have high level math, calculus if you can get it. It's important if you can take it to take economics or AP economics. These are more important classes than the electives that some high schools offer, like Intro to Marketing or Finance. Those are great classes, great exposure, but they're not known for having an exceptional amount of rigor. And if you're trying to apply as an undergrad into an undergrad program in business, having calculus is going to take you much, much further than taking an elective in marketing. When it comes to English, I always say take 4 years of a literature based or writing based class. Many high schools will offer things like public speaking or film studies, and I really consider those to be electives, extra. And so do colleges. They want to see that you are immersed in reading and writing in your high school English class. And as I said, it's not just the most selective schools. Certainly, the most highly selective schools in this country have higher standards in terms of what they expect on the transcript, but many, many schools are looking for rigor. Remember that right now, there's a lot of great inflation in many high schools. There's a lack of testing across the country, and sort of a lack of extracurriculars, because a lot of people don't have their sports season, they don't have their robotics competition, they can't go to all state orchestra, and all these things that filled students' time before the pandemic. So, what's left? Rigor of the transcript. That's what colleges are falling back on if they don't have a test score. So all A's, that's great. High rank, fantastic. But what's more important is what classes did you take? And then we'll talk about how well you did in them. And I'll say this too, when you apply to college, many college admissions officers, the first two things they look at is the classes you took and the school profile, which is a document that guidance counselors send along with your transcript to all the colleges you apply to. And it basically describes your high school in a nutshell so that colleges can see the environment in which you studied for 4 years. Did they offer AP classes? Did they offer honors classes? What are the average SAT scores coming out of this high school? Sometimes the grade spread amongst a class so that they can best evaluate a student. If your high school doesn't offer honors or AP classes, then you're not really held responsible for not having taken them. But if they do offer more rigorous classes, but you don't choose to take them, you're not putting yourself in a great position to apply to selective institutions, even if you get all A's.
So, Nancy, that's great information. So, what's a key takeaway for students and parents?
Well, I would say that, to any student, if you want to be challenged in a competitive college environment, you're going to need to provide evidence that you're taking advantage of every possible challenge available to you in high school.
Awesome. That's great information. Thanks so much. And everyone, thanks so much for joining us on this week's College Playing Tip of the Week. Everybody, please stay safe and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Jack.